lay the groundwork for us. How did you get into the fitness center business?
Originally, worked out at some clubs and had decided that needed to spend more time at home with my family, and so I started, going to auctions, purchasing equipment, really just for my own personal use at my home. And probably after a year or two of doing that, I realized that, this is something that I really loved and I wanted to get into. And had purchased enough equipment actually to open a small gym where I could have some friends and some people come over. And actually I had, acquired enough equipment to move into a small building, about 1,800 square foot, and just open a small business where, it took off slow but has grown from there.
Now, I know that you have recently expanded your club. Tell us about that.
Yeah, moved into a larger building. I more than doubled, actually, the area that I was in, so I'm about 4,000 square foot now, and, it was a step that I needed to make. There was, quite a few people that, were coming in. It was getting crowded. I only had 2 treadmills. I've since gone to 6 treadmills and a lot more equipment. And with the expansion of the building, I have more than doubled my business.
Hey, how quickly did you see a return on your investment once you opened the doors to your club?
Right away, actually. I mean, it was, within the first few months, I had already seen, a return. And, I'd say, as far as a full return on the equipment that I had, because when I first started, it was much smaller, and, within the first year, I had already made that money back.
When you started your club, did you start with a business plan, or did you just jump right in?
I just kind of jumped right in, just, knew that I wanted to do it, didn't really plan much. A building came available, and I just jumped right in.
Did you ever consider a franchise club?
I did, actually, and the reason why I went away from that, it was something like, $15,000 a year the first year just to acquire the name, like $5,000 or $6,000 a year every year after. You had to have a minimum, I think, of 8,000 square foot building, and you had to purchase all new equipment through their vendors, and you had to acquire so much of their clothing and things like that to sell every year. So it just seemed like, too much to dive into right away.
Okay. Stan, I'd like to ask you a question that I want you to, if you can, give us the answer to both before you expanded the club and then after you expanded the club. Now, before the expansion, you were at about 1,800 square foot. What was your estimated monthly overhead before you broke even on that size of space?
The overhead a month in that building was really not bad. It was about $1,000 a month.
That's your rent, and that's also your
utilities, heating, electric, everything. It was about $1,000 a month.
Okay. Now that you've more than doubled the size of your club, where are you at now on monthly overhead before you break even?
Really just about double that. Well, not quite double that. I'm in a small town. Rent's pretty cheap. Overhead's pretty cheap, really, so that really helps a lot. But, I'm $1,500, $1,600 a month before I start, making money, and it's really been easy to do. I mean, since I've, doubled in space, I've gotten a lot more people coming in, and it's really working out good.
How many members, Stan, do you have at this time?
I'd say at this time, and I go, with a yearly membership. I also just go month to month because it is really something that I want people to do and love. And, I don't ever try to pressure anybody into, the big year membership. If they want to buy a year, they buy a year. If they want to go month to month, they go month to month. But, right now at this point, I'd have to say a couple hundred members, that are just month to month.
What would you say the ratio is that go month to month as opposed to paying for a yearly membership in full?
Since I've opened the new building, I've had a large increase in the year membership, the person that buys the whole year. But I'd say, 80%, 80-20 split. It's probably 80% month to month.
What are the prices of your membership?
$30 a month, $1 a day.
Okay. And if they pay in full for the year?
A year, 24-hour, 7 days a week is $310.
Hours of your operation when you're doing sign-ups?
Monday through Thursday, 2:30 to 8 o'clock, and Saturday 9 to noon.
You feel separates your club from the competition, and I think I probably didn't even have to ask that. I don't think there's any competition whatsoever.
There really isn't. I don't think I have any competition in that area. There, are a couple other small gyms in other towns that, I know I steal some business from them because I do have a 24-hour access and they do not. But yeah, really there's no YMCA. There is one Curves, a woman's club in the town that I'm in, but actually since I've done the larger building and the 24-hour access, I've taken a lot of business from the Curve.
That's the way that we compete and do really well, is by offering that 24/7 access.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, when I first started the gym, I did not have that service, and when I brought that on maybe 6 months afterward, that just opened the door. And as soon as I put it out there that I had the 24-hour access service, people just started rolling in. It really made the difference.
Your security cameras, if memory serves me correctly, did you tell me you bought those at a Sam's Club?
I did, exactly. I looked around at security camera systems, and I actually found a pretty good system at a Sam's Club that was about a fourth of the price of the other security systems that I had looked at, and that's worked out great for me. I actually just updated it when I moved into the new building. I went from a VHS system to a DVD system, and also from Sam's Club that I could use the same cameras, and I just had to buy a new recorder actually.
Stan, I wanted to ask you, do you do anything special as far as marketing your club?
To be honest, not a lot, and I think that I really need to do more. Everything that I've done has been word of mouth. I have done a couple small ads in the local papers, but really mainly just word of mouth.
If you could share just one thing with our listeners that are looking to start their own club and become a 24-hour fitness center owner, what would that be?
My suggestion would be to look into good used quality equipment. You will get it for 10 cents, 20 cents on the dollar of what you'll buy new, and it's a much better way to go rather than to dive into a large payment every month to start a club.
Right. Stan, I want to thank you for this interview today. It's much appreciated, and I know our listeners appreciate it. And, sir, we wish you continued success in your fitness center business endeavors.
Well, glad to do it, Dennis. And you've been a good friend to me, so I appreciate it.